We're team number 7 and we will describe the culture of Canada, Chile, Luxembourg, Nigeria, South Korea, and Australia in order to explain the culture differences and how this can affect when we make business with other countries. Canada's culture has been affected by European culture and customs, primarily the British and French, as well as its own indigenous cultures. The Canadians have a friendly attitude and have no problem offering you their help. Punctuality and honesty are characteristics of Canadians who also have high respect for the rules of coexistence and civility. In Canada, Christianity is the most popular religion, with Roman Catholics following along. Canada has a powerful and well-funded public education, which is mostly handled at the provincial level. There are 3 levels to the educational system. We have primary, secondary, and post-secondary. It is proof that Canadians are not materialistic. For example, GfK, a market research firm, their research where they found out that 49% of Canadians were stating that they experience more than money, and even though 23% of Canadians would prefer more money over time. The official language is English and French. However, English is the majority language across the country. Canadians have a reputation for being a tolerant, educated, and conservative people. They are closely linked to the community, so it is common for all kinds of people, both young and old, to carry out social work such as volunteering, charity work, or solidarity collections. Their government is split into 3 levels. The federal government, that is responsible for the entire nation. Then we have provincial and territorial, that is responsible for their province. And we have local or municipal government that manages their city or town. Each level of government has a leader. For example, the head of the federal government is the Prime Minister. The leader of the provincial government is called the Premier. And the leader of the third level is usually called the Mayor or Whip. Without a doubt, there are significant distinctions between Mexico and Canada, and some teams, based on their different cultural factors, could be, for example, make appointments ahead of time and arrive on time, be nice but keep your conversations on track, expect fast-paced negotiations in larger cities like Toronto and Montreal, and the slower pace in the western provinces where the mood is more amicable and easygoing. As well, contracts should be detailed and extensive, and if you have a French-speaking colleague, make sure to convert documents into French. Canada and Mexico, the 2 minor partners of NAFTA, have very different levels of economic development. Despite this, their economies have an interesting set of features in common. Canada has one of the largest economies in the market. It is the 10th and the 16th largest GDP nominal and PPP in the world, respectively. In regards to their natural resources, Canada right there with an estimated value of $33.2 trillion by 2019. Canada has the largest petroleum in the world and the 4th biggest exporter of petroleum and natural gas. Mexico does differ a lot with Canadian economy. For example, Mexico is based on the free market oriented to exports, and it is the 2nd largest economic power in Latin America. It is as well the 3rd largest economy in all of America, that is the PPP. As well, right now, $1 Canadian equals to 15.93 Mexican pesos.
Chile, a country that is represented by its rich variety of landscapes such as its Cordillera Los Andes and Cordillera La Costa, a country which is distinguished by linguistic attitudes in which it consists in inquiry that speakers distinct towards languages and varieties such as dialects, a country with a harvest festival where there's a harvest festival in which Chilean wine is celebrated, where productivity and fertile land are appreciated, a country where 99% are believing Christianity, and where only 99% women are believing in Christianity, only 91.28 of its population professes it. Professes it. A country where education has quality, since the educational system is formally organized into four main levels, such as preschool, basic, middle, and higher education. A country where one of its materialistic cultures has the name of Rapa Nui, which means Easter Island, where the famous gigantic Moai stone characters are found in their social organization, and government is based on form of representative democracy. And their system of government is that of an essentially presidential republic, and it's organized by a unitary system, a unitary state, and its 13 regions are administered in territorially decentralized manner. Finally, Chile's economy is the fifth largest economy in Latin America, and in terms of GDP, and well, Chile is the world's largest producer of copper, lithium, and well as agricultural products such as fresh grapes, blueberries, plums, and the dried apples. Next slide, please. As a Mexican professional, I believe that the greatest cultural conflict with Chile is the language and the multiple regionalisms. And we both share Spanish as official language, but Chileans have an interesting combination of unique elements. However, this has the potential to create new environments, meaning people eat new foods, get used to foreign languages and more, and it can be difficult at first, but it's nothing to write home about as we continue to be Latin Americans. And we are proud to be. And what we want is to benefit Latin America, Mexico, and of course Chile. So there are no other cultural obstacles to not being able to start negotiations.
I'm gonna talk about Luxembourg. Luxembourg is the smallest country of the European Union and the one with more immigrants. There's over 500,000 inhabitants. 40% are immigrants. This country is more known for its wealthy position. The average salary of the people from here is around 2,000 euros a month, but half of Luxembourg workers do not reside in the country. Around 160,000 people here every day cross the borders to work and then return to their homes in Germany, France, or Belgium. The Great Duchy of Luxembourg is a constitutional parliamentary monarchy with a head of government. Javier Bettel, the Prime Minister, is the head of the government of Luxembourg, and Enrique of Luxembourg is the Great Duke. According to UNESCO, the city of Luxembourg is a World Heritage Site. Luxembourg has a highly respected and unusual education system. This country has a trilingual format. The first years of primary school are in Luxembourgese, then changes to German in secondary school, and then ends in French. Luxembourg is a country where the negotiations are carried out in languages spoken such as German, French, and Luxembourgese. Sometimes English is allowed, but usually not used. 97% of the population of Luxembourgers is Catholic. The country is a true pillar of the Catholic faith throughout Europe. At the same time, Luxembourgers are extremely tolerant and representatives of other beliefs and worldviews. The process of negotiating. Being in a work and professional environment, the respect we show to them is very important, since they will take to know us and always treat us kindly and respectfully. Even so, they will not take time into the intimate level, that it will not be necessary to have a friendly relationship in not a purely professional one. Dressing code is important. Always wear formal in somber colors. Formality is key. Just a handshake is enough, and always be punctual, since that will be key for future negotiation. Even so, formal exaggerations are not well seen. Always calling the person by their surnames, proceeding with the word Mr. or Madame, also conveying the importance of the situations to be dealt with, will help maintain a good corporate image. You must be prepared for any situations, since they will tell you what they think of you at any time, in a diplomatic and subtle way.
Well, I'm going to be talking about the Nigerian country. We can see that the Nigerian culture is made of several ethnic groups that speak of 527 different languages. The number of ethnic groups and dialects stand at more than 1,150. In this culture, it is very important that when you're greeting someone, significantly older, it is a sign of respect to lower your gaze and bow your head. It is important to show sincere pleasure in meeting your Nigerian counterparts, and making eye contact and to smile and to address delegates with their academic, professional, or honorific title. In terms of language, in Nigeria, the official language is English, but from 1951 to 1967, the official language was Hausa, and is widely used in the northern states of Nigeria, and they have a variety of languages that they speak. In the government side, the Nigerian government is composed by a political system in which there are three branches: legislative, executive, and judicial, whose powers are vested by the Constitution of Nigeria and the National Assembly, the President, and the federal courts, including the Supreme Court, respectively. The Constitution provides a separation and balance of powers among the three branches and aims to prevent the repetition of past mistakes made by the government. In the religion part, in this country there are three main religions: Christianity, Islam, and the indigenous religion. Talking about the education, the Constitution provides a separation and balance of powers among the three branches and aims to prevent the repetition of past mistakes made by the government. In the religion part, in this country there are three main religions: Christianity, Islam, and the indigenous religion. Talking about the education, the current educational system in Nigeria follows a 9 years basic education, a 2 years senior secondary education, and 4 years tertiary education. In the economy side of Nigeria, Nigeria has the largest economy in Africa. The country manufacturing sector became the largest of the continent in 2013, and it produces a large proportion of goods and services for the region of the West Africa. In addition, the debt to GDP ratio was 16.075% as of 2019. And I think that as both Nigeria and Mexico have this collective culture in which we try to help others, but the Nigerian culture is strongly hierarchical in terms of power relations. It's necessary that a clear hierarchy is established where every employee is aware of the structure so that he or she may contribute to it constructively. We can see that while doing businesses with this country, there are some similarities. There are things that may be of conflict, but I think we can relate to the Nigerian cultures because we both try to help each other and we both are very hard-working countries.
Well, so South Korea is a country that their culture is greatly influenced by the Chinese and Japanese cultures. This influence can be seen by Confucianism. These traditions include the ethical code of conduct in social life and showing respect to the elders of the family. They also believe a lot in sincerity and loyalty and follow certain codes of conduct while meeting, eating, praying, and even celebrating. One of the main religions in Korea is the Buddhism. Is a religion in Korea with the most followers, and its teachings have a great impact on the Korean lifestyle, culture, and art. The language in Korea is the Korean, and there are 5 major dialects. It's important to say that the Korean alphabet is easy to learn, and Korea enjoys one of the highest literacy rates in the world. In terms of education, the Korean education is a single-track system with 6 years of elementary school, 3 years of middle school, 3 years of high school, and 4 years of undergraduate university, also known as the 6334 basis. The Ministry of Education in Korea has been promoting the Study in Korea program, in which views toward increasing international competitiveness, international exchange, and cooperation. It's important to say also that South Korea's political system is defined as a presidential democratic republic. The president is the head of state, governed by a liberal multi-party system of representative of figurative democracy. In turn, the Prime Minister of South Korea is the head of the government. And to wrap it up, the economy of South Korea is a highly developed mixed economy, mostly owned by a family-owned conglomerate called chaebols. By a nominal GDP, it's the 4th largest economy in Asia and the 10th largest in the world. South Korea is notable for its emergence of economic development from an underdeveloped country to a developed one. This economic growth has been described as the miracle of the Han River, which has allowed them to join the OECD and the G20. As a Mexican professionist doing business with a Korean professionist, Korea and Mexico have strengthened up the overtime, and both countries are now close trading partners with still much more potential to grow, being Korea and Mexico's sixth export market and Korea's Mexico's fifth supplier. This is part due to the growth of Korean enterprises in our country. Like a good example is Kia, that have settled down pretty good in our country and has allowed them to the Mexican professionals and Korean ones to perform in each country. Something that has never been done at this level, and I think the opportunities that the universities have given to us, the students to go exchange, just reinforce the good relationships, facilitate the adaptation for doing business together. Because I think they have a very good impression of how the Mexican worker is, and they're looking forward to work together. And in terms of the cultural shock, Mexicans may be surprised by the honesty and good behavior of the Korean citizens, the clean up the streets, and the well-paid the workers are over there. There are seem rare for us, but leaving that behind, I think we share some customs that can unite us.
Okay, talking about Australia, Australia is a very developed city. It's a very and multicultural environment. Talking about the cultural aspect, Australia is an egalitarian country. There is no real distinction between social classes. Everyone has the freedom to live and work wherever they want. There is too much peace, freedom of expression, and religion are important values for them. The majority religion is Christianity. Most of the population, the population professes it. Okay, area of the education in Australia has an international prestige. Australia has very well-designed programs, high teaching standards, and modern facilities that allow to students to obtain excellent professional training that is recognized worldwide. Australia has a stable, democratic, and multicultural society. It is one of the most welcoming countries in the world since almost half of its population are foreigners who live in harmony and without any discrimination with local citizens. Okay, the economy. During the first half of the 2021, Australian GDP accumulated a growth of 2.7 to the COVID-19 pandemic that caused Australia to fall. Next, please. Okay, talking a little bit about the negotiation in Australia. This is mostly like an American style. The boards are based above all on being agile and focused on obtaining the best results to make decisions quickly. Compared to the Mexican style of negotiation, the difficulties could be that compared to the Mexican style, they are more well planned with time to get to know the company and know the commercial and financial information. And also that getting to know a little bit more about the person is going to help a lot. And that is all. Thank you.